Yeah, hi Mamata, good morning. Mamata, can you hear me?
Hi Narsima, good morning.
Yeah, probably can just share your desktop. Let us see that. Yeah, I saw it on your mail actually.
Are you able to hear me? Am I clear?
Yes,
Uh,
very much.
shall I go ahead and quickly share my screen?
Please share it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, why you got this error. Doesn't seem to be related to web services. Let's see.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Yeah, now it is coming up.
Okay.
Oh, it is not ready. Server is not ready. Oh, Mamata, it's still coming up, right? So we need data integration server. Looks like it just started, right, Mamata? Is it right?
No, no, no. It's up actually. I
Oh,
just need
this
to.
is yours. Okay, okay. Probably that time we can just get it closed. This seems to be okay.
Oh, so this is the what the error it is showing.
What is that message? Can you please try to open that, double click on that status?
Yes.
Yeah, click on that instance name, left side. Yes. Oh, what was the input you gave, Mamata?
So the input is just age. I gave age. Like I gave
Okay,
four
first.
fields, uh,
Mhm.
but I only mapped the age.
Okay. Then you need to look at business services definition. Is that getting mapped properly? That's where I think there is some confusion between the source and structure.
Are you saying about this, Narsima?
This is okay. What you're trying to do here?
I just
You're supplying foreign heat as input. Go to
yes.
request mapping. Wait a minute. Yeah, expand body. Expand it. Yeah, this seems to be okay, right? But is that age comes as a proper input? Can you try to preview the data as a result of expression
Yes,
transformation?
I can show you.
Just preview. Okay, it's coming up. Yeah, age is fine. What is the type actually? Is it a string or something else?
It's string.
Integer.
It was string. I changed it to integer.
Can I try to go to that metadata? Yes. Okay, it's a string actually. Yeah, you can change it to integer. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Mm.
Do you want me to run?
Just play it. Right click on web services. Or else you can run it. That's also fine. No matter. You can run. But
Yeah, still it's failing with same error.
sorry, we'll see after session. Just be there.
Yeah,
No
sure, my friend. Yeah, yeah.
problem.
Thank you for joining early.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll wait for a minute, guys. So I'm just waiting for some more to join. Yeah. Yeah, so good morning and good evening to everyone, guys. So I hope all of you could able to hear me, right?
Yes, Narasimha.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Good
Yeah,
morning. Good morning,
yeah,
Narasimha.
yeah. Good
Like
morning.
for IICS, uh, like just like Informatica, we are getting software and installing to our personal system. So, is there any way to make practice at our end? Mm.
Yes, Bharat. Is there any
Fit-
way to?
That for IICS, for
Mhm.
personal practice, how to go ahead?
Yeah, that I'm going to talk like how to set up on your system to get into the hands-on. Bharat, yeah,
Okay, thanks.
yeah. So let us get started, guys. Today we are going to talk about another scenario where let us say there is a data which is kept in what? One, linear form. Second, hierarchical form. Third, hierarchical form. Or fourth, it could be hybrid. Now the question, if we have the input data which is represented in a variety of forms, now the question, how are we going to understand that particular input data and start getting it translated or getting it converted to some other form, which is, let us say, relational form or linear form. Yeah. So that is going to be the question mark. For example, let us take some of the business cases or some of the use cases where there is a need to think of using this particular example. Let us say we have got mainframe data. Yes or no? So mainframe would contain what? Some rows would have linear representation, some rows would have hierarchical representation, some rows will have mix of both. Yes or no? So hierarchical come linear. So that's one simple example where we can think of using this kind of source data. Now next let us say if you try to deal with real-time transactional data, for example, any web-based monitoring operations, right? So there has to be real-time data transaction that would take place, right? So in such cases also, data could be in any form, but it would happen in real time. How do you handle such kind of scenario? That's a second example, our second scenario. Let's a third one. Let us say data can also come from what I call external applications, and those applications could be what in a what we call standalone. In that particular standalone application, data representation could be in any form, like what we discussed. So these are some of the cases where there is a need to what we will understand, like how to convert variety forms of data to what simple or linear form or relational form. So that's going to be the question mark. Yeah. So so let us start with one uh, example. Assuming that hierarchical data or tree form data would be represented in an XML file. Let's take that example. Then we'll extend this to what? File also, normal file or some other forms. Yeah. So let me try to share my desktop. Yeah, I hope. All of you could able to see my desktop, right? Yeah. So, study some comments. Yeah. Yeah. Let us understand what does this particular XML contains. Fundamentals of XML. So we all know that XML is one of the markup language, you know, which is derived from HTML, GHTML. Anyway, we don't need to understand that history part. Let's focus on technicalities. Yeah. So now, if you look at this particular what you call language, if you say language, there will be predefined set of instructions. In the sense, there is going to be pre-built specification that we need to adhere to. Remember that. Yeah. And how it represents happens markups. Markups in the sense there will be a tag representation like open, close, mixed, whatever, right? So I think this I talked about it. Data can come in any form, right? Now the question, let us say what does this particular XML contains. Now let us talk about it. So let me convert this to slide. Yeah. So this is a markup which will have multiple standards. But as I said earlier, it is a descendant of what HTML. Prior to that, HTML, JHTML, HTML, whatever. Forget about the history. Can you see, guys, the example full of simple XML file? In this, there is only one level. Level in the sense, so probably I'll talk about in the note part, then I'll come to this. Yeah. So remember, guys, if we have XML, there will be a root element from where data can be navigated, or even meta also can be navigated. Let us say that. Now, let's say there is a one bottom element which we call child element. So in between is what we call a level. Let's say first level. You got right? So that's it. Now we can extend this to another level. Let's say grandchild, or we can put in short GC. So this is going to be the level 2. So likewise, we can have XML in what? Multiple levels. There is no limit on that. Now within, let's say now we'll focus on what? Data part. Remember guys, this particular XML follows what? Name value pair or key value pair or code value pair. These are all synonyms, guys. So which means for a given key, let's assuming that we talked about like some columns like C1, C2, C3. In that C1, let us say key and corresponding value is let us say what this particular value. Yeah. So which means for every what you call key, there will be corresponding value, right? So this is how XML will be represented. Now, for every level in the tree or level in the hierarchy, right, there has to be endpoint, which we call close tag, right? So we have to close it. Yes or no? So now we have just understood simple example like a how XML would look like and how we can have underneath data. That's it. Clear, right? I hope simple example is clear. For every open tag, there's a close, which is GC, right? For every open child, which is a close. For every open root, which is a close part. And under this particular GC, we have got simple key value pair. Now the question, someone need to help me here. How are we going to pull the value corresponds to attribute C1? That's a question. You got right? How do you get the data corresponds to key? Because we all know that for a given key, we should obtain the corresponding value. Yes or no? So to do that, what is the concept that we use that is derived from XML? Sorry. So who can answer this question, guys? So answer is what? So remember, first thing, if you want to read data from an XML file, we use a term which we call parser. This is what from XML context, right? Parser, in reality, if you think from English meaning perspective, it is just like what? Divisioning input data into what? Multiple tokens. That's the meaning. But in the context of this particular XML, it is same. Now, the question, are we going to do it by ourselves in order to parse this particular data? Answer is no. So we can do it, but we need to put in a lot of effort. So now, how do we take care of reading this particular data without putting much effort? That's where we have got pre-built available parsers. Example, we got exercise parser and we have got what I call DOM-based parsers or SAX-based parsers, whatever. Forget about what we have. But there are some pre-built parsers. Out of them, most powerful and most widely used type of parsers are what? DOM-based parsers, because they are driven from what you call document, which means document could have any form of data. In this case, let's say we are trying to focus on XML, which in turn would be translated to what? Object. From objects, it will be, it is going to create a model which will be understood by anybody, which is going to be the visual representation of source data. Remember this, yeah? So which means there are pre-built parsers which are going to help us in order to pull the data corresponds to any level for any attribute. Remember that. Now, within this particular parser, we already have got a concept which we call XPath. This is from the user perspective. XPath indicates what? XML path. Yes or no? So, which means path we all know, right? It is a navigation from anywhere to anywhere. In the sense, from bottom to top, or top to bottom, or from mid to top, whatever, anywhere to anywhere. Now, in this case, what we need to do in order to pull the data corresponds to C1 key, we need to traverse all the way from what? Top to bottommost level. In the sense, root, child, grandchild. Under that, if we specify C1 attribute, we could obtain the value corresponds to that. Now, what is that XPath? It's very simple. Root, child, grandchild. Then if you specify C1, you'll get a value correspond to that. That's it, guys. This is a simple way to get the data corresponds to any key or any attribute. In XML context, we use this word attribute actually. Fine. So that's it, guys. So this particular XML is what? A two-level representation of XML data. That's it. Now, basic thing is clear, right? Now let us try to elaborate from here on. Before we get into some more aspects of XML, If anybody has got any questions on this elementary topic, please let me know, guys. We can get it clear right now.
So Narasimha, this is the like simple XML, which is
Yes,
having like parent child and grandchild information. When we are going to import this as a source or target, it will show like a column level data. Like level one will be column one, level two will be column two, or key will be column three. Just this is like that, correct?
yes. Actually, we specify you'll have, let's say, C1. Against that, you'll have this path. That's a simple way.
Okay.
Example, let's say if you look at these fields, just to make you in simple terms, right? Fields, right?
Mm.
You have C1, and against that you have X path header. Yeah? Let's say this is a column header. This is going to be X path header. Within that, you'll have this complete path.
So
But
you taken complete path of only particular for C1 root under
exactly for
and
C1.
child and
Similarly,
then. Oh,
yeah. Similarly, let's say we have got one more column or one more attribute, which is in
yeah.
some other level. Let's say level 2. Yeah. Let us
Mm.
take C2. Now,
Yes.
the data is, let us say, triple two. In this
Mm.
case, the column or field will be C2 and corresponding XPath will be root. What is XPath, guys, here?
Child GC
That's,
C2 and
that's
double
all.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. This is enough. C1 anyway, it's derived from here. C2 anyway, we have it. Slash C2, whatever you can put it. Yeah, because this is in what I call first level. This is in this level, right? Yeah, yes or
Yes.
no? But this is in some other level. Yeah. So based on the level where we have it, right, we just have to navigate that and use appropriate column data or attribute data. Fine, right?
So basically the path, right? The columns path.
Yeah.
Exactly. Simple. Path. Path means navigating from top to bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever there is element, right, we just have to navigate from there to there. We have this C2 in this after child, right? Till that we need to navigate and use that column. That's what we did, no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Any other questions, guys? Now you can ask question. Can we have relative path instead of absolute path? What we discussed here was absolute path, which means what? We have to specify every element in the hierarchy with absolute names. Example, root, child. But in case of relative path, we don't specify absolute names. Instead, we use what? Pre-built operating system keywords or key directories or files we call, like a dot, which indicates a current directory, dot dot, which indicates what? Previous directory,
Directory.
and so on. Yes or no? But that is not supported 100% for all the parsers. Some parsers would support, but if you think from best practice perspective, it is always advisable to use what? Absolute path. Yeah. Yes, please.
Narasimha, so can we join two XML sources? Is that possible?
Very much possible, Balaji. But provided we have to have similar structure, then answer is yes. If not, we have to what you call take care of converting a variety of XML forms to what? Intermediate, which is a common form. Then take that as input to what? Downstream transformations. Balaji.
hmm So if it's similar structure means, say for example, you mentioned column one, right? So in the same another XML, it will be
Similar
the
structure means the column name, column type, and other meta properties should get matched for both the source systems. Then answer is yes.
So basically headers, right?
Exactly. Header means yeah, not necessarily header, metadata we can say, Ali. Metadata is the right term. Header means just the field names or column names we call, right?
Right.
Yeah. So clear, right? Now let's get into what? Understanding with some more details. Yeah. So now let me open presentation. Yes. Now you need to answer this question. So now where do we have these attributes? In first level or second level or third level or none of them?
First level.
Yes. Now, do we have this XML is properly represented or not? If no, you need to answer why. Is it the right way of representing XML in this presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, because as we all know that here you can see the root
Mhm.
element is what product. We have used root instead of that we have got product.
End of
Open, closed. Within
close.
that, we got 5 attributes. Yes or no? And
Yes.
for
Yes.
every attribute, there has to be open and close. For example, name, open, close, model number, open, close, and so on. So, as a result, we can say that it follows what? Well-defined format, which is adhering to what? Respect to XML standard. I'll talk about what are those standards, like 1.0, 3.0, whatever, right? Clear, right?
Clear.
Now, once we understand this, now let us talk about how are we going to interchange or exchange data from one to another. So that part also we talked about it. How do you do it, guys? By using what? Appropriate parts or concept, which we discussed, right? Which is XPath example. Yes or no? So that is fine. Now, let us talk about how we can start what we call one, reading the data from a local system, and second, reading the data from what we call remote system, and third, reading the data from cloud system, and fourth, getting it processed. You got right? So reading part and getting it processed. There are two things, right? Broadly speaking. So reading, let us say, how do you read data from cloud? Let's say from local. Let's start from the basic. How do you read data from XML, which is kept in the local? Yeah, which means local means we have file system where in a predefined location, let's say in a C drive and source folder, within that there is a XML file. You got right? Yes or no? So in that case, what are the prerequisites that are required in order to pull the data from that particular XML data file? Answer is what? Yesterday we talked about one example, right? That is a data, right? In order to read the data, we have to have metadata. So what is the metadata in context of XML? That's where XSD or DTD or even XML also, remember. So anyway, we are dealing with a local. In such cases, we can think of using what? XSD or DTD. DTD is a legacy one. We can just ignore that. And in the latest terms, we use what? XSD, which is XML schema definition. Clear, right? Now the question, is that clear, guys? If there is a data in a local file system, if you want to pull the data, we have to have metadata. What is the metadata we use in the context of XML? XSD, which is XML schema definition. Just remember that. There are others also. We'll come to that. So without using XSD, can we read? Answer is yes. We'll come there. We'll get there. So let's focus on only one to avoid confusion, right? XSD, right? Name itself implies for XML schema definition, which is structure. To read the data from XML, we have to have metadata. What is the metadata? Definition. For what? XML. That's it. Clear. Now, same thing. If you have it in the remote system, how do you take care? Sorry. Guys, local thing is clear, right? There's XML data which is kept in the local file system, C drive source. To read that, let's say we have used XSD. Now, we define XSD. How? We'll see. Like we talked about yesterday, WSDL, right? Same way, XSD also I'm going to talk with example. Yeah? Data and meta, both we are going to use it in parallel, both the files, and see how we can interpret. We'll come there, we'll get there when get into hands-on. Yeah. Let's talk about concept clearly. Now let us say same XML data is kept in what? Remote system. Now tell me, how are we going to read and start getting it transferred to downstream transformations within this IACS data integration. Can someone answer this question, guys?
Come again, Narasimha.
Yeah, let's say the file is located in the remote system. Let's say I'm in India, you are in US. Now I need to read the data from your US system. So in US system, you've got XML file. So how to do that?
So some secure location you through SFTP you need to transfer those files, and
Okay.
then from there like kind of Unix box or something. Two
Okay.
different system how they communicate through SFTP only, and then in a common place they can place it, and from there that application interact and or fetch the data. This is my understanding. If anything wrong, you can.
Yeah, fine. That's one perspective. Fine. Any other probable or exact answers,
We
guys?
can place it in cloud. Say for example, Amazon S3, where we can connect through Informatica to
Yeah,
S3.
we'll come to that cloud. Without cloud is one more third example that which I'm going to talk. So now we are just purely remote, no cloud at all. Yeah, we'll get into the cloud next example. Fine. So remote system, that's it. So we
Remote.
need to read data from US system from India. That's it. That's a simple question. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Let me come in here. Remember, guys. So yes, whatever Bharat said, that's one probable answer. The question. Remember, guys, we started with what? We usually use this XML for what? Real-time data transaction. Meaning what? What is the meaning of that? As and when the data comes in, we should be in a position to get it processed with no time slice. We all know that, right? Which means without any delay, we should be in a position to get it processed. Which means we should never think of using the concept of what? Copying. Copying could be SCP, SFTP, FTP, whatever. Doesn't matter how we copy. Forget about it. RCP. There are many things, many ways to copy. Right? Now that is rolled out. Then how do you take care? Simple. We have to have direct access to what? A remote system where we just take care of firewall access, all that. If we just try to map the remote drive, then we could able to start pulling the data. But we need to make sure that we are using what? Higher network systems. Remember, we should not think of using what? Low end network. So network should be very fast. We can say high speed network should be used to simulate the behavior of what? Real-time data transaction. Once we could able to connect through high-speed network remote system, right? The rest of the steps are similar to what we have discussed. What is the next step is like we could able to connect to the data. Where do you place this metadata, guys? This you need to answer now. Data part is clear, right? We map it. We take care of all firewall, all that. Let's say we have access to remote system, so we could able to read. But to read that, we need to have metadata, right? We all know that. Now the question, where do you place this metadata? Options in the local system where there is an agent, or remote system where there's XML data, or we can have metadata anywhere. Fourth is what? None of the above. You got the question, right, guys? Yes or no? So let's make it more interactive, guys. Each and every part we need to understand clearly, guys. Remember, I go with to minute level. Yeah. Or we can use all of the above. In the sense, we can place this meta, which is XSD, anywhere, which is remote or local, or sometimes remote, sometimes local.
But Narasimha, XSD is the physical structure of a table, just like in database we created some table, employee or
Yeah.
table.
This is for XML, that's for table. You are right. Yeah.
Can we use all of the above, Narsimha?
Yes. Yeah, we can use anywhere, but best practice. So best practice, right, guys? it is always advisable to use metadata wherever you have agent installed. Yeah. If the agent installed in a remote system, place this XSD over there. Or if the agent installs some other box, we need to place XSD over there. Why? Can you guess the reason why? There has to be a reason for it, right? Yes or no? So I think when we talked about architecture, right? Informatica cloud architecture, I think I clearly explained like how communication would take place between what? On-prem and cloud. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Now you can just recall and answer to that question, because if you want to, let us say, read data, and if you try to place metadata somewhere in the remote, so first time itself, if you want to process, right, first it has to fetch this metadata. Yes or no? So which means if you place wherever there is an agent, right, then agent can talk to this particular ICR, which we call Informatica Cloud Repository, in a short time, rather than what? Placing metadata anywhere in the globe or anywhere in the remote system. But we can place it, it would still work, but it's a best practice. Yeah? So that's it. Yeah? So now the next question, cloud. Yeah, this you need to answer it quickly. Let us say there's a data which is XML data which is kept in the cloud. Now tell me, what is the best practice that we can think to read the data from the cloud? Guys?
See, Natma, like as per my understanding, every application, whether it is cloud, there is some connector, right?
Mm.
Through connector, like if you are going to connect S3 bucket for AWS cloud,
Mm.
or like for Azure, like same like S3 bucket, there is some connector, right? They will communicate and fetch from there.
Yeah, that is fine. How we connect to cloud system, that is okay. But in the we are focusing XML, right? Let us confine to this XML. In context of XML, yeah, does this particular read differs from remote system or local system? Yeah.
The local system we can read. Remote also you told we can read it.
Yes, that is over. Do we have any difference from that with the cloud or not?
That we are not aware. You please rate it.
Yeah. So answer
Is
is
it
what?
via an API call or something? Reading XML via an API call?
Yes. Yeah, we have that. So yeah, we can use APIs, or we can also directly what you call, interact with the cloud where there is XML data, like whatever with the credentials, whatever, right? That's one way. Other way is what? Our best way is what? By using what? APIs, which is the fastest approach. Yeah. So again, meta also, guys, the concept is same as what we discussed earlier. So irrespective of data placed in the cloud or remote or local, whatever, right? Wherever there is an agent, it's better to be what you call part of it, which is metadata. Now,
Narasimha, I think I missed that agent part. I think the first time, I think when you did, I just joined from yesterday, right? So what is like an agent, and can we have like multiple
yeah,
agents, or how does that agent thing work? I'm still like trying to
okay.
understand
I'll
what that
just put
agent.
it in 2-3 lines in the notepad.
Oh, okay.
Fine. So let us say, if you look at Informatica Cloud, right? I see. Yeah. So within that, there are two broader layers. One is going to be what? On-prem layer, and second is going to be cloud layer. Yeah. Yes or no? This is going to be what? Firewall. Take this. Yeah. So now the question, why we are using two layers? You can ask that question, right? Because this name of this product itself or Informatica Cloud or Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, which means whatever services offered by Informatica, they're all available on their system. Their system is what? on their server, Informatica server. We as a user need to know how to connect and start availing those services. So that's what we call the cloud. You know, cloud is just like a remote system which is available at any time with the pre-built facilities or features. Example, Informatica Cloud. Now let's stick to what Informatica Cloud, where they offer multiple microservices. One, to perform data integration activities. Second, to perform cloud application integration activities. Third, to perform even API activities. Fourth, to perform MDM. Within MDM, whatever, we have got reference 360, whatever. Then we have also got data profiling. Then we also have got cloud data quality, which we call CDQ or simply data quality, whatever. These are the things they have already made it ready. So which means, how do you access that? We subscribe and use it. That's it. Just like it works like what? Subscription model. Yeah. We subscribe to this particular Informatica cloud and start availing whatever services which they offer. Some will be available in trail, some will be available commercial, some will be hybrid, whatever. You got right? Now the question. So what is the benefit you get it here? We don't need to install, we don't need to configure, we don't need to maintain. All that benefits we get it from Informatica Cloud. Now the question, how are we going to get these services from our local system, which is what we call on-prem? Yes or no? Because we need to get these services offered by these guys, right? So from our local system. So this is what we call on-prem. Now we need to get these services, right, from local. To do that, we have to have one intermediate service, or we can say broker or agent, or we can say mediator. Yeah. So this mediator is what we call agent. So this particular agent will be used in a secure way, which we call secure agent, and which is built by Informatica, right? That's what we call Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. That's the name of the service. So let's say agent. Now, this agent knows like how to pull the data from on-prem and get it transferred to the cloud. In the cloud, in this is not Informatica Cloud, let's say cloud storage. So, which is, let's say, storage. Example, Amazon. So let's say we need to transfer data from local, which is some DB table, database table, to cloud, which is Amazon. To do that, we have to have some service, right? What is that service? Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. In simple terms, agent. Clear, right? And vice versa. Cloud to local, local to cloud to cloud, or whatever, any combination, 4 combinations, right? So that's where we use what? Agent. Yeah. So I'll elaborate that in detail, probably in this another session. Ravi, I hope you got the clarity at high
Oh,
level,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Right, right. At agent I got. So why there are like I think multiple agents? So is there a purpose of having multiple agents, or one
One
agent will
agent.
take care of one is age? Okay, there will
Yeah,
be
in
only
this
one
case,
agent.
one agent, but you are right.
Mm-hmm,
We can have multiple agents. One
mm-hmm,
to take care of high availability or failover
mm-hmm.
or just
Okay.
recovery. And second,
Mm-hmm.
to get what? Performance benefits. For example, we have got bunch of resources available in the data center and the cloud space. Now the question, we need to avail those resources in order to make things happens faster than expected. In such cases, we can have what? Multiple agents. How to make use of those agents and how we can make multiple agents to talk to each other with respect to our source data. That part, I will talk about it in detail when we get into what? Performance tuning techniques. Ravi,
Okay. Okay.
you got it? I think I
I got
hope
it.
you
I
got
got it.
it.
I
Yes.
got it. Yes.
Okay, fine. So now let's go back to what this, yeah. Now HTML part we all know, right? This is it's a legacy part. We can just ignore that for now, because when they started markup, right, they started with this. Now, anyway, we are beyond XML. That's a JSON part. I'll come to that with practical examples later on. Now, anyway, we are talking about XML, right? Still, many customers are using XML. That's why I'm trying to cover um, one or two practical examples based on XML. Then we'll stick to what latest, which is JSON also. I'll come to that later. Now, the question, let us say, guys, there is a Java. Why do you need Java, guys? Remember, this particular Informatica product suite, suite in this complete product, which contains n number of subtools, right? For data integration is one, quality is one, profiling is one, whatever. All of them, they have built it by using what? Java programming language. So that is why if you want to enhance any functionality for any kind of product in Informatica space, it is always advisable to write it in what? Java code. We can also write it by using other programming languages, C, Python, whatever. But if you write it, we need to have a wrappers to convert the respective language to what? Java. That is mandatory, because this guy, which is Informatica product suite, understands Java. Remember that. Yeah. So we'll try to stress towards what? Java only. I'll talk about one or two Java examples. One to deal with XML data. Second to deal with what? Normal flat file data. Third to deal with, let's say, relation table data. So that you will understand the usage of this Java in various perspectives, right?
Narsimha, someone is waiting in the room, I believe, to accept it.
Oh my God.
Rahman, I think. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, someone can you can admit it, huh? Okay, I can't see. 1 second.
No, at Dia, someone is also waiting there.
Yes, I'm just admitting all. Yes, Rahman. I think you guys can admit, guys. So I'll make one of you guys as co-host. Ali, I made as co-host. If someone comes, they can admit. Yeah, fine. Okay, fine. So, an XML, I think we talked about. Remember, guys, why we are trying to talk about XML? Nobody asked this question. Remember, guys, XML is a universal or international accepted standard or accepted specification, which means what? Data interchange or data exchange can take place from one platform to other platform without any what you call data issues. Yeah, but if you try to use flat file, right, then there will be some issue. Remember that. Clear, right? That's why XML is the universal accepted specification. Yeah. So for not only dealing with data, even for repository also, we can think of using XML, because if you try to migrate from one platform to other platform, you'll not see any problems. Yeah. So that's it. Now within that, they can make use of different tagging representation like CML, MML. This is a elementary thing, guys, that you can explore it. Yes. So that's it, guys. This is enough actually, theoretically. So this difference we don't need to understand, because we are focusing on advanced stuff. This is legacy. Just remember that that's enough actually. So because let's try to focus on cloud, Informatica cloud related aspects. Yeah. Now let us talk about one more sample from XML, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So where we can see, you need to answer now. How many levels we have in this XML, guys? Hmm?
3.
3, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Contact
level.
is name is second one.
Yeah,
Address is
2 levels.
So contact is
level.
the root
Name
and
and address.
2 level.
There should be two, yes.
Exactly. Name, address, both on the same level. Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct.
So that's why you can say just 2 level XML representation. Now the question, let us say we need to pull the data corresponds to what first name? What is the XPath, guys? Quickly. Contact, name,
Contact
Contact.
name,
first,
name,
that's
first
all.
name.
Perfect. Over. So rest follows. Rest is same as that, right? We all know that. Now the question, there's a first line. What it indicates? It's a header, right? Remember, guys, in XML or HTML or a JSON or even any other markup languages, right? Even a WSDL also. Yeah. So we need to make sure that what version that we use. Why? Because one, to take care of compatibility. Second, to take care of not losing any data. Remember this. Because of these two factors, it is always what I call advisable to use what? Header. Without that also we can make it to work. The problem is sometimes if that, let's say one row has been represented based on UTF-8, some other represented based on UTF-4 or UTF-16 or UTF-32. In that case, there will be what? Data truncation. Or there could be some cases where data is not represented based on what? UTF, which is universal text format. Yes or no? In such cases, there is a chance to get the data truncated. Yeah. To avoid that, it is always advisable to specify header, which we can also call it as what? Prologue,
Version.
or we can also say it as what? XML schema type. Remember, yeah, like yesterday we have seen it, right? XML version, encoding, these two things are mandatory. Fine. So how this XML will be represented? These things, I think we talked about it. So this is enough, guys. I think we understood what XML contains. Yeah. Remember, these two concepts, I think we understood. What is attribute, guys? Hmm? Equal to column or a field. That's it.
Yeah, column, yes.
Column or field. That's it. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Then where do they get? How do they get stored in XML? We need to navigate, right? Yes or no? How do we navigate? Based on element. Yes or no? That's where elements come in. For example, root element or child element or grandchild element we talked about, right? Yes or no? To get to this attribute level, we should traverse through what? Elements. These two concepts we need to understand. That's it. So now open tag, close tag, we all know that. And syntax, this is a syntax, guys. Less than, exclamatory, at the end, hyphen, hyphen, greater than. This is syntax. We don't need to talk about much. That's okay. You can just copy and paste, use it. Yeah. So that's it about basic concept of what? XML. Now, let us try to get into the tool and understand like what it expects. Yes or no? What is our goal, guys? So we need to pull the data from what? An XML file. That is our goal. And XML will contain any kind of data. Yeah? Now, let us try to talk about what I call logging onto this Informatica cloud, right? Once you log in, do we have any way to pull the data from XML? One, by using transformation, or some other by using a task, or some other by using what? Some third-party plugin. You can have multiple choices, right? Answer is what? We have got pre-built transformation, which is going to help us in order to what? Pull the data from an XML file, right? That's it. What is that transformation name? Which is what? Hierarchy parser transformation. As the name suggests, hierarchy parser, right? Meaning what? If the XML data represented in hierarchy form, so we could able to navigate in order to pull the data from the relevant XML file. That's what it means. Now we know what it offers, which means ISCS data integration service, right? Now the question, let us take one simple XML data file, and after that, we will understand how to read that XML data by using what? XSD, which is XML schema definition. Yeah? So that is what we are going to see now. Now, let me take one simple example of XML. So let us say we have got some source data related to what? Employee or whatever. I'll just open it in what? Notepad. This is what? Data file. Clear, guys? What it contains, this version part, we talked about it. That's a header, we know it, prologue, right? Then we will have, there are two concepts, right? Elements and attributes. We all know that. Major thing, right? So that's, let us say, root. Yeah, that's a general representation. From that, it is derived from this particular link, which is W3 schools, whatever. Yes, please. Okay, fine. So we have got EMP details. That's our actual data where we use this particular element. And first attribute is what? EMP attribute. This is attribute name, this attribute value. That also we can specify directly. But that's not what I call best way to represent. So I've just given this example to understand best and worst. It's not a best way. Now let's talk about best way to represent XML. Remember, can you see guys here? This is one of the complex type, or we can say substructure. This is employee, which contains what? Employee ID. This is where you will have a data. As we all know that for every attribute, there is going to be open tag and corresponding close tag. Yes or no? And within that, we could able to see the value. Now, this itself is a structure, right? Within that, there is a substructure, which is what? Name. Under name, we got a first name and last name. We can also have some more attributes like middle name, salutation, and so on, right? Forget about it. So in this particular substructure, we got two attributes, namely first and last name, right? And corresponding data. And for every attribute, there's a corresponding close tag, right? That is over. So now next question. So we have got dependency for employee, right? Remember, guys, for every employee, we can have one or more addresses, like a temporary address, permanent address, in-transit address, or whatever. Right? Now let us take this sample XML data, which contains address here. Yeah. So that's a dependency, a cardinality, right? One to one, one to many, whatever, right? Now, 1.0. Yeah. Yes, exactly. One or more repetitions. Yeah. Fine. Can you see, guys, here? You need to be a bit louder, huh? Can you please repeat your question? No, you need to repeat your question. Oh, Balaji, yeah? Balaji, can you please try to repeat your question? Your voice is low, actually.
No,
Yes.
nothing. I didn't ask. Sorry.
Okay, well, maybe someone, someone else, huh? Fine. Ignore that. Yeah, fine. So, okay. Yeah, so I think it's clear, right?
Small,
For every
small,
employee. Yes, please.
yeah, a small suggestion. I mean, when you open this file in the Notepad++, there we can select the language XML, and it will show nice tags and all, so it will be easy to understand actually.
Yeah, that's also right. Or you can, yeah. Oh, I don't know whether I have Notepad Plus or not. I need to check. Yeah, yes, Plus will be good actually. Plus. It's not there. We can open directly in browser also. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the XML validator in the browser.
Can you see here? Yeah. So this is okay, right? This is what you wanted, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you'll have what you call clear structure defined from root to what bottommost. So here we can see employee, which is substructure, then ID within that name substructure, then dependents one to many, and address. Address, we have got multiple address attributes. Clear, right? Next is what? EMP details. See, for every open, right? EMP details it got closed here. And similarly, root it opened here and closed here. That's it. Yeah. This is simple XML data, guys, which contains how many rows, guys? 1 or 2 or 3 or many. Yeah. Answer is what? Only one row.
One.
Exactly. One employee ID only, right? Yes or no? ID 1. And dependence 1 to many, right? Addresses could be anything, but we have got only one to one correspondence only. For this employee, we got corresponding address. Yes or no? That's all.
It's only one.
Only one, right? So now let us try to understand how to read this data. That's a question, right? To answer that, we have to have what? Metadata. That's where XSD file. So that we are going to see now. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see, guys? So this part we all know it. Now let us start from here. Root element and complex type, EMP details. Now can you see, guys, here from here our story starts. Yeah. So this is a template anyway. Within employee, we got a substructure which we call as a complex type. Then employee ID. So which is short type, right? And then corresponding name. Again, this is substructure, right? Within that we can see first and last with a string type. Then dependents, which is for address. So we can see address element with corresponding attributes, right? Like whatever, a number of attributes. Yeah. Now we can place next to each other just to compare whether we have got exact match of what? Data with metadata or not. Yes or no? It has to match, right? Yes or no? Let us come from the top. Yeah. Now you need to tell me. Yeah. So can you see, guys, version part is okay and XML type is also okay. Now root element. What is the root element, guys?
That is the basic means.
Yes. So yeah, EMP details. Yes or no? Under root we have got element name is what? EMP details. Can you see here? That's it. Now the next question. We have got employee ID, right? Where do you have employee ID? Under employee. Remember here, employee is what? Like a structure.
Yes.
Exactly. So within that employee, we could able to see within that employee, we can see what? Employee ID with a type short. Clear, no? So for this employee, we have got corresponding data here. This is the data. This is the metadata.
Metadata.
Clear, right? Employee ID is clear. Now let us talk about the name. Can you see, guys? Name. This is structure, no? Within that, it contains substructure, which we call, which contains what? Two attributes, like a first name and last name. And corresponding data, you can see, right? This one. Within this name, open tag, close tag, right, which is a complex structure or substructure, contains what? First name, corresponding value, last name, corresponding value. It's matching, right? We need to make sure that structure matches with what? Data. Then only we can pull, right? Yes or no? Yes. Now let us talk about one to many correspondence, dependence, right? So dependence part. So rest is syntax. Now we need to go to what? Address. Exactly. So now let's go to address, which is this. Yeah. Now within that address, do we have all the attributes which matches with the data? The answer is what? Yes. You can see, right? 1, 2,
address ID,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. We got what I call 4 plus 4, 8 attributes, right? Yes or no? And corresponding data should be there on the left side. Yeah. So that's it. We have got
Nasimha, one question. XML tag W3S and here XSD tag, it is different. Means for both the
Oh,
cases.
remember, guys, I think we talked about yesterday namespace. Do you remember? Namespace. Yeah. W3S means what? W3 schools. This is just like what? Uh,
Root.
alias.
Alias.
Yeah.
Okay, alias, but yeah, it will support alias. So we can give anything, right?
Anything can be given. But because anyway, this file is derived from W3 schools, right? If you go here, yes or no? And it is
Yes.
stored in what? W3S, which is a namespace. From W3S, we can have anything. That's an employee, whatever. That's a namespace we call, right? I think we talked about that concept, right, yesterday? Yes.
So
So
manually
that's it,
we
right?
created this XML XSD file. We can create, or is there any freeware tool there we can create the XSD file and later, like while
There
data
are
load?
many freely available tools we can create it, or we can just copy and change based on our need. Anything
Okay.
can be. Okay. Yeah. Or we can also use Chat GPT to get us XSD. Yeah. That's also fine. Yeah.
Thanks. Sir.
Fine. So that's it, guys. I hope now structure and data is clear, right? Yes or no? All guys.
Yeah, data structure, the metadata also clear.
Yes, this is metadata, XSD. Like Ravi, I think you were trying to ask this question, right? XSD part. Now I'm trying to show it with the example. Yeah, fine. Now the question: we have data, we have metadata, we understood concepts also. Next question is what? How are we going to what? Read this data based on the metadata. To answer that, now we need to go with what? Usage perspective. There is a concept called hierarchical schema. I repeat, there's a concept called hierarchical schema, which is one of the component. Like we talked of business services definition, right? So why we need that? We need to convert external representation to internal Informatica cloud understandable format. So what is that format here? Hierarchical schema. Now let us
Hierarchy.
see how do you convert this XSD to internal Informatica cloud understandable format, right? Can you do that, guys? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
we can do it.
Yes. Now let us click on new here, yeah, and select components. So yesterday we have seen business services component for what? To take care of web-based operations that we all know. Now we are trying to talk about local based on XSD. Yeah. So for that we need to use what? Hierarchical schema component. It is well structured, guys, with respect to design of IACS, right? It is well organized and well structured. Yeah. So let us create that hierarchical schema. So you need to concentrate now because from the user's perspective also it's very clear. This is what based on XSD we are trying to create. Yeah. So for XSD for what? EMP data. Yeah. Location, let us say, let it be default and click on upload. What to upload, guys, here? Either schema or sample file, one of them. Remember that. Yeah, we'll see one first.
Yeah.
So click on upload. So this is straightforward. Can you see, guys, here? Schema is what? .xsd file. Or we can also use what? JSON. We'll get there later. Now let's say we are focusing on XSD. Choose file and go to a location where we have this particular XSD. This one, right? HPEMP. That's what we're focusing, right? Yes or no, guys? That's XSD. Say open. But anyway, we can confirm it in the preview. See, this is a version. This is XML schema type with a namespace, then root element. Then we have got root element name is EMP details. Within that, we got a structure, which is a complex type, employee. Within that, we have got employee ID, then name, substructure, then corresponding attributes, then followed by n number of attributes under address substructure. That's it. No? So which means what? We are referring with the right XSD file. Right? After that, say okay. Now can you see here? We have got root element, which means our XSD is in par with what we expect. Now let us save it. In case if there is a problem with the XSD file, right, you'll get to see the corresponding errors while import itself. Remember that. Yeah. That's it, guys. I'm just closing it. Over. I hope how to convert XSD to cloud understandable form is done successfully. Any questions on that, guys, before we get into the next step? Yeah.
Yeah, I receive a link, the YouTube link. What exactly is it? Because yesterday I did it in class.
I'll come to that. Yeah, that I'll talk about, because now we'll leave it if you go there. That's just a link to play the video. But anyway, I'll expand that. Yeah.
Okay.
So fine, right? Yeah. So this part is clear, right? Schema part. Now the structure is ready. We need to use this structure to read the XML data. To do that,
We have uploaded the XSD file, right? Where is that metadata? Like where can we see it?
in the default location, we specify location, right? Default. Yeah. So here you will have it. Can you see here? Hierarchical schema XSDMP.
Yes.
For example, let me try to show it again. So we specify location, Mamata. So let's say hierarchy schema. Then in that, yeah, can you see here location, Mamata?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
location. If you want to
Okay.
point to something else, then you can browse and specify wherever you want it, right? Yeah, fine. So that's it. So that is clear, right? Now, in order to process XML data, how to process, guys, in data integration? Through transformation, right? We all know that, right? What is the transformation we use it here? Hierarchy parser. Now, let us try to build a mapping where we are going to use hierarchy parser transformation. Clear, no? So let's go to mappings asset and click on create. Yeah. Yeah. So source, I think we can use the location where we have got this particular data file. Remember, guys, we got this particular data XSD and also data file. You have seen it, right? Now, to read the data, right, we need to store complete XML data in a string. How do you do it? For that, we need to go with what? Indirect concept. In the sense, we can have a top level file where we will point this particular path to a data file, which is XML data file. Can you see here? This is what? A field name where it is pointing to what?
The path.
Path to a data file. Yes, you are right. Right? So because we store complete XML data in a string, then start parsing that particular string data. Why string data, guys? We talked about DOM, right? Document, object,
Document
model. Meaning,
model.
XML is a document. So we need to convert that to object. Object means it's a string. In object-oriented programming, right? String is one type of class, right? To process that, we have to have object. That's why we use an object, which we call a string type here, right? So now, to get that, we need to follow this indirect concept. This means a field name and corresponding path. Clear, no? Now, let us try to use this particular file to pull the data from an XML. So yesterday, we have created one connection, right? Yes or no? Any connection, web source file connection, whatever, right? The same location we have got this file, right? HP source, whatever, yeah? HP sample data. So now let us try to select that. Yeah. Yeah. So meantime, right, when it is under processing, right, you guys can start asking questions, guys. Yeah. Let's try to use this time effectively. Yeah.
So
So
how
now,
in IDQ we have data processor, right? So how it is different than this one?
so data
Data.
processor concept is what? That has been designed to convert one form to other form. For example, XML to Parquet or XML to JSON, XML to some other form, relational, whatever, right? One to many other forms. That's a concept of what? Data processor transformation in data quality or even information developer, right? But here, what we are trying to do, we are just trying to focus on what? XML only. Yeah. So, but to simulate the behavior of data processor, we got structure parser in IACS also, where we can convert one form. That form could be a structured or unstructured or application to all these forms to what? Some other form, which is beyond data processor transformation. I'll talk about it as we go on. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Fine. So, which file we need to deal here? HP sample data. Yes or no? That's where we have seen path to XML file, right? Yes or no, guys? Now click on
Yes, sir.
OK.
So, Nashima, in that HP sample data XML, there is a in that file there is a path, right?
Yes, path to XML, Sagarika.
It's a kind of parameter.
Exactly. Yeah, path equal to that path and file name. Yeah, yes. Yeah, now click on preview data. Make sure that we are referring the right file. Yeah,
You
yeah. Can
don't
you
have
see,
to
guys?
specify indirect here anywhere.
No, it's not required. No, syntax wise, it seems like indirect, but concept wise, it's a data file for us because it's a string, right? We store this in a string. String is going to be input for XML. You got right?
Oh,
But in case
okay.
of indirect, no, the complete file itself is separate. Every row will represent separate way, right? That's a different concept. Yeah, list file, right? Yeah. But syntax wise, similar to indirect, but usage is a correct
Okay.
data. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Got it.
Right. Now let us try to go with what? Hierarchy parser transformation. Yeah, let us drag and drop and place it onto the link. Yeah, so that's it. Now we need to start configuration of hierarchy parser. To get there, now tell me what has to be used as part of a number of properties available. Input settings, because we need to start understanding input data, right? Based on the structure. That's why input settings are required. If you try to convert to some other form, right, then output settings, which is output. Okay, one more. Yeah. Yeah. Now,
File.
yes, we need to select a file because we have already created and kept it in what? File format. Now, select and specify. Why we are using file, guys? Default is what? A project. Within a project, we can have folder. Within a folder, we can have multiple files. But within a project itself, we've got a file, right? That's why we selected a file. Yeah. So that's it. Now there's only one XSD converted, right? Which is hierarchical schema, right? Only one is there. So we have just selected that.
So now you
Now
got your
make
metadata.
sure that, yes, make sure that this particular status is valid, guys. If not, it would not work. Yeah.
So status either valid or what will be the error
Invalid.
they will show? Invalid. Okay.
Yeah, invalid. It will be invalid. What is that? Why it is invalid? We need to click on that to see what is the exact error. Yeah,
Okay, exact the reasons. Okay.
exact details. Yeah,
Is it like
clear, right?
format valid or invalid, or what does it
Yeah,
do?
format, or it
Oh.
could be mismatch of data
Mhm.
with what do you call
Okay.
metadata, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, fine. Then yeah, this is clear, right? So if you want, we can just view it just to
View.
confirm. Yeah, can you see here? This is the location, Mamata. So from where we pulled out, and then this is the file name that we have used it, and root is the topmost element. When it got created, who created, that's normal, what do you call, statistics. That's it, right? That's over. Now the next question, We need to what? We need to
What is
select
it?
first. Do we have incoming fields here? Nothing, no? Can we do or can we process XML data without any incoming field? Answer is what? No. Now, what is that incoming field we expect here, guys? Path. Path, right? Yes or
Yes.
no? Yes.
Yes.
Now, to do that, we need to connect from source to what? Hierarchy parser. Now, through link, they'll be transferred, right? Then this is both meta come data. Yeah. Now, let us see incoming fields. Can you see here? Now we have got a path. And what is the type here? String with some characters. So, which means complete XML data will be stored in a string type, which is what? Object. Yeah. Complete XML is a document converted to object, and that object will be taken as input to hierarchy parser. This is done. Now we need to get in here. Now, can you see here? So this particular path can be mapped to, will be mapped to what? Input. That's what would be expected by hierarchical schema. Yeah. Yes or no? Now map field is what? Path. So input equal to path. That's what it means. Yes or no?
Yes.
Clear, guys? Now we got the data from the source and we have just made that as input to what? Hierarchy parser transformation through hierarchical schema. Remember this. Yeah? That is done. Now the next question. What do we need from this particular result of this XML? That we can get it from here. Yeah? We can expand it manually one by one and understand whether this particular hierarchy structure is okay with what we have expected or not. Look at here, guys. We have a root element. Yes, please.
No, if it is not right, so we have to go back and correct in the file, or we can do it right here. Though.
No,
Like example,
because
we don't
source,
want
right? Source itself file has got a problem, right? We need to correct the file.
Right. Correct the file, right?
Exactly. This is just a usage, no? Whatever is in the file, you'll get to see it here. Correct, no?
Right.
Exactly. So now let's understand whether we have got a proper structure or not. First thing, EMP attribute. Can someone tell me where do we have it? Can you see here? This one. This is structure, right? EMP attribute. Yes or no?
Yeah, it's a metadata.
Exactly. Next is what?
Employee.
Employee. So we can see employee. Yes, I'll come there. Yeah. Can you see here? So employee. Under that, we got employee ID. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. It's matching, right? Then within that substructure is what? Name. Within the name, we got first name and last name. Yes or no? Yeah. Then followed by dependents. What is the dependent part? Address. So now let's scroll down. So scroll down. So dependence is what? One to many addresses. I think I talked about that. Address contains what? Corresponding attributes like address ID, employee ID, line 1, line 2, city, state, zip code, whatever. Including what? From date. Last one, right? That's all. See, there's an exact match between what we have in XSD against with what we could see as part of this particular hierarchy parser transformation. Yes or no?
Right.
Clear, guys?
Element.
Yes. Now we need to get the data corresponds to each of those attributes in the target. To do that, what need to be done? We need to map it. To do that, click on this root element where you can select map all descendants. What? All the children elements and followed by corresponding attributes would get mapped to the output.
Right.
If I say all, see, all have been mapped from left
And
to
if
right.
you want to skip like one dependent over there, right? Like if you want to skip last name or
If you
something.
want, you can skip it. Let's say if you don't want last name, see,
Yeah.
I just
So you just
see it disappeared from here. If you don't want this name itself, then we can just unmap, we can do, right? That also can be done. See, I unmap complete substructure. You got no?
Clear.
So that's also possible. If you want to map all at this particular level, we can also do it. See, now first name, last name also can be seen here with the corresponding X path. That's what I was saying. Every field will have corresponding X path. Based on that, we can read the data for first name, whatever. Yes or no? I think we
Yes.
talked about that concept, right? Same thing can be seen here. Yes or no? Right?
Clear.
Yeah. Any questions from anybody, guys?
So most of the time, right, Narasimha, so like all these like
Yeah.
relational data will be into multiple tables. Like let's say employee name goes into one table, address goes into a different table. Like that, we have multiple types, but only one XML will be mapped to that. So how do we derive that logical primary key, foreign key relationship using the same example loading into multiple tables?
That is very much possible. For example, in this case, how do you build the relationship between, let's say, two tables here? One employee table, other table. Just to answer question, Ravi. Which means for every employee, we can have one or more addresses. Yes or no? One to
Right,
many
right,
corresponding,
yeah,
right?
right.
So which means we need to build primary key of employee table that should become as foreign key to address table. Yes or no? So
Yes.
based on that, we can just get it. For example, can you see employee ID here and employee ID? So this way, there is already pre-built linkage, primary key here
Mm.
and foreign key here. Yes or no?
Or-
Now,
Yes.
once we already have relationship, then we can also have two separate tables in the target where we can have employee data in one table and address data in another table. Ravi?
Okay, got it, got it.
Another way I'll talk about it. I'll talk about one more example practically where let us say we get data from multiple files, XML file 1, XML file 2, or flat file 1, flat file 2, where there is a linkage between those two files, like a master file and detail file or child file. Now the question, how are we going to what?
Narasimha,
Start reading the data from.
sorry to interrupt, Narasimha.
Sorry?
I need to leave, but I will go through the recording for only for today.
Yeah, sure, sure. Anyway, it's getting over. In for 2-3 minutes, I'll finish it.
Okay.
But anyway, if you have work, no, you can just.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Fine?
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I will go through the recording, but only for today.
Yeah,
I need to go out. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Ravi. Bharat. Fine. So this clear, right, Ravi? And
Oh,
I'll
yes,
talk
that is
about
clear.
by taking multiple files also. Now we've dealt with only one file, right, with a relationship. I'll also talk about if you have more than one file with a relationship, how to take care of that and start getting into translated to our own understandable form. I'll talk that. Yeah? Fine. So now hierarchy parser is done. The next question is what? We need to map this to what? A target. See, EMP details is a root element, right? Under that, we got n number of substructures with the corresponding attributes. Say okay. So that's it. Yeah. Now let's configure what we call target. Use corresponding target connection.
Target.
Yes.
Single.
And yeah, specify the target. Yeah. So let's say we have, let's say hierarchy HP
HP.
target. Yeah. Yes or no? One file, right? Which one file we are trying to do? .txt, right? Say okay. So that's it, guys, about this usage. Now we can just apply the mapping name, mapping underscore HP based on what? One file. Yeah.
Right.
So we are trying to save it in the same location. Yeah. Save it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Not valid.
Yes. Now it's valid. We can run it. Correct, no?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we are using light agent, which is up and running. So can you see, Ravi, I think you're trying to ask multiple agents question, right? We can have n number of agents, which can be seen in the drop down. And we can just select whichever agent that we want while running. Yeah. Click
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
So that's it. So meantime, you guys can ask questions because it will take some time to execute, right?
Narasimha?
Narasimha, so Informatica meta file transfer is another Informatica component, right? So can we use that for transferring pulling this XML file data?
Yes. But we need separate license for it. Yes, that is possible, Balaji.
Mhm.
Yeah. Actually, that's the best way
Narasimha,
to do that, Balaji. Yes, Sagar.
actually, I missed the question. Anyway, Narasimha, I'm asking like the source connection when you create, you suppose you use a agent and target connection you would use a different agent. So it will work or not? Because every time you create source connection and target connection, you are using the agent, right?
No. Remember,
So
see, data transfer service should be same. For example, if you try to use agent from source and target some other agent, so incompatibility, right, Sagarika?
okay.
While running itself, we select which agent. Yes or no? A same agent will be used to transfer data from source to target. That should be common, Sagar.
Okay.
But we can use multiple agents. Let's say agent 1 for mapping 1, or agent 2 for mapping 2, or agent 1 for task 1, agent 2 for task 2. That way you can just distribute. Sagarika?
Okay. Yeah, but throughout one mapping, it would be same agent. Yeah.
Exactly, you're right. Now let us try to refresh, guys. Now time is 8:30. Okay, I need to jump to some other. Let's finish this. Yeah, any other questions, guys? Still under process of execution.
Yeah, integration service and agent, are they similar? Are they different, like from a Power Center and cloud world?
That's a fantastic question. So secure agent equal to what? Data integration server plus other servers. Let me try to answer it practically. Hence, you're under process of execution, right? So agent comprises of multiple sub components or sub services like common integration components, ODA components, then data integration server, process server. Let me show where do we have it. Ravi?
Okay.
It's a collection, one agent with many services. Yeah? So
Okay.
we can say it's equivalent with data integration service plus extra, Ravi. But it's not
Okay, got
equal.
it. Got
It's
it.
beyond Power Center integration service. You can say you can compare this with what data integration
Mhm.
service in Informatica local system. Yeah?
Mhm. Okay.
Like we use it for data quality, right? I think in Informatica developer you would have used it. So that one I'm trying to refer. So now let me try to show where do we have it. Yeah. So if you try to use this, yeah, enable disable service. Can you see here, Ravi? This is a practical answer to the question. It's a collection of many sub-service, process server, common testing component, data integration server. One of them is data integration server. Clear, right?
Data user. Okay. Okay. Clear. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now let's go back to that data integration. By now it would have been completed. Okay. Let us see that result itself in target, right? It would have been completed. Yeah, we got, guys. HP target one file, right? That's what we gave a target file name. So let's open that. Now we need to see this particular target data is exactly similar to what we sent, right? Yes or no? Now first one is what? EMP attribute. What is the value here? String. Let us open that source. HP source. Yeah. Can you see, guys? EMP attribute, the value is what? String. It's matching, right? First is over. And second is what? EMP ID, which is what? 1. So this is MP ID 1, right? Yes or no? It's matching, right?
Hmm.
Then next is what? Address ID, which is 2. Yeah. So address ID in the bottom, which is 2, right? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next is what?
And employee.
Address employee ID, which is 1, which is this one, right? Within address employee ID. That's what it means. Yeah. Next, line 1, which is this Bagman Tech Park, whatever. So that we can see here. Yes or no? Yeah. Then line 2. Yeah. So which is whatever, Sivaram Nagar, right? So that we can see here. Yeah. So then we have whatever, city Bangalore. So we got city Bangalore. Then state Karnataka, KA. We can see KA here. Zip code 560029, and we've got same data and date from date, right? Which is 29th 9 whatever. So we got same thing, right? Yes or no? Then
Hmm.
Arjun Sinha, first name, last name, which is in the top. Yeah. It's a master data, right? Yes or no? Arjun Sinha, right? We got last. Yeah. So that's it, guys. So now we got complete data, right? So we have not missed or we have not lost any data. Yes or no? That's it, guys.
Yes.
So I think we talked about end to end. Yes or no? From concept, then usage of it, and we have verified the data in the target. That's all, guys. So if you have any questions, right, you can shoot out tomorrow because I need to jump to some other meeting, guys. Yeah. Right. So yeah. Thanks to all
Thanks,
and
Nelson.
bye. Yeah.
Bye.
And bye.
మమత కూడా కుక్కిదలు అమ్మా ఎక్కడ కుక్కిదలు Hello. Sweet mint ଆଣିଛ ରଖିଦେ ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଦରକାର ଥିଲା just one ହଁ ଦେ ତ ଦେଲୁ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବାକୁ I said you wanted ନାଇଁ ତାକୁ ଦେ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବାକୁ see I remember you told me remember oh thank you ତାକୁ କହ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବ ତାକୁ ମେଡିସିନ ଦେବି ଆଉ ଟିକେ ପରେ ତାକୁ କହ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବ ଗୋଟେ ପିସ୍ କୁକି କିଛି ଖାଉନି ଗୁଲ ଏମା ଏ ଟିକେ ଖୋଲିଦେଲ What? Are you serious right now? You best not be serious right now. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କାମ ଦେଖେଇଦେଲୁ ସେ ବଡ ମୋଟା ନାଇଁ ହୁମିଡିଫାୟର ନାହିଁ ଆମର ଦେଖେଇଦେଲି ବନେଇକି କଣ ଉପରୁ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଇଏ କଣ କହିଲୁ ବଡ ଭ୍ୟାକ୍ୟୁମ ଟା କୋଉଠି ଅଛି ଉପର ଘରେ ଅଛି କି ତଳେ ତଳେ ଅଛି what do you want it? Like, do you need it right now? ହଁ ମୋର ଦରକାର ଚଲେଇବା ପାଇଁ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ତତେ ଡାକିଥିଲି ଏଟା କାଟିକି ବାହାର କରିଥିଲି ওইটা কেতে নেলা?
I don't know, it's on sale, but
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଆଣିଦେଲୁନି?
there's only one.
ଗୋଟେ ଏଇ ସୁଇଟ୍ ମିଣ୍ଟଟା ହିଁ ଲଗେଇବ, ଆଉ କିଛି ମୁଁ ଲଗାଏନା। ଆଉ କିଛି ଆଣିଥିଲେ ବାଡିଥାନ୍ତି।
I would have used it, bro.
Huh?
I got it with you in mind, so calm down. Where's the...
ନା ନା
Where did you find...
ଏଇ ତଳକୁ ନେଇଯା, ତଳକୁ ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ କାଇଁ କରୁଛୁ? ତଳକୁ ତଳ ପକେଇ ଯା। ଚାଲ ମୁଁ ବି ଯାଉଛି, ଏଇଟା ନେଇ ଚାଲ। ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟରେ ରଖିଦେ ଦିଟା। ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟରେ ରଖିବୁ, ଥୋଇବୁନି କାଉଣ୍ଟରରେ ମୋର, ମୁଁ ଆସୁଛି 5 ମିନିଟ୍।